Welcome everyone to the CELPIP Listening Part 1 Problem Solving Analysis. Now I'm just here in Listening Part 1 section of the CELPIP library. And before we get started, I do want to remind you that Listening Part 1 focuses more on CLB 4, 5, and 6. What does that mean? Well, it means that Part 1 will have easier dialogue. It will have more familiar dialogues or very common situations. And the questions and answers won't be so difficult like other parts, okay? And so lower levels, levels 4, 5, and 6, can do better in this part, okay? And you should try to do better in part 1. As for higher levels, CLB 7 or higher, you should get everything correct in part 1 because part 1 will be very easy for you, okay? So that's what it means that this part is more focused on lower levels because it's an easier listening section, okay? Now, I also want to remind you about this really great tips and strategies video. This video will point out some tips and strategies that I will be using to complete part 1. Okay, how to listen effectively, what information to listen for, how to answer the questions better. That video will give you lots of information, lots of details about how you can prepare for part 1. So I will leave a link in the description box to that video. Okay? So let's get to today's sample called Where's My Car? Well, everyone, here we are in today's sample lesson. Now, this lesson has 6 sections, okay? And it's very important to review them all so you can improve your English knowledge, okay? The first one is the video analysis, which you're watching right now. The second is vocabulary building. Now, vocabulary building is great because it selects some words that we heard in the listening, okay? And it gives you basic meanings, some synonyms, and some antonyms. And after you study the word list, we have an exercise down here where you have to complete the sentence with one of the words that you studied. This is a great exercise, everyone, to improve your vocabulary. And then after that, we have a comprehension building exercise. This exercise is great to improve your listening skills. What do we do here? Well, here we listen to a sentence.
The walls in my apartment are paper thin.
And then after you listen to that sentence, you need to read option A and option B, and you need to decide which one, A or B, is similar to the sentence that we heard. This is a great exercise to help you build your listening comprehension, okay? And then after that, we have following dialogue. Following dialogue is a great exercise to help you improve your listening skills, especially for following conversations. So we have today's conversation, and you can listen to it. And while you listen to it, you have to complete each part with a word that you heard. Very good exercise for building your listening skills. Okay, everyone? And then we have today's test practice 1, which we will do now. And then we have test practice 2, which is version 2 of this sample lesson. Okay, and I will leave that one in the description box for you to practice yourself. Okay, everyone, so let's get started with today's test practice 1. Okay, here we are, everyone. Now I'm going to let you know that we are going to complete this listening together. Okay, so first I'm going to give you a chance to do the listening yourself. Okay, and you can answer the questions yourself. And then after, we will analyze the answers together. Okay, and also listening part one, problem solving, it's a three-part conversation. First, you listen to conversation one, and you have three questions in this case. Then you listen to the second part of the conversation, and you have another three questions. And then you listen to the last part of the conversation, and we have two questions. So usually there's two or three questions after each part. Okay, very good. Now, I also want to let you know that the format of our samples are a little bit different than the real exam. In the real exam, you listen to the conversation and then you have each question one by one, not all three together. So that is one difference, okay? And then also in the real exam, and also in our other samples, each section is timed and each question part is timed. So after you listen to the conversation, you have 20 to 25 seconds to answer the question. Okay? So today, I will be timing you while you answer the questions. Okay? Okay, everyone. And of course, very important, just a few tips to improve your listening. Tip number one, listen to full sentences. This is very important for lower levels. Lower levels, usually you listen for words. Try to listen to full sentences so you can listen for ideas, not only words, because words can confuse you. Okay? Tip number two, let's listen and repeat as much information as you can. Okay? Repeat the information in your mind. This is important for lower levels as well, because lower levels, we have a problem sometimes with remembering the information. But if you repeat the information, it's easier for you to remember, okay? Now, also taking notes is good, but I suggest taking notes as long as you keep on listening, because lower levels, we can also have a problem with writing notes. It may not be easy for you. So I think repeating the information is better, but if you can write notes and write notes very quickly and easily, like higher levels, then you can do it. But very important, keep focusing on the listening, okay? And of course, this is part one. This is problem solving. So we need to understand what is the problem or what was the problem and how are they going to fix it or how did they fix the problem. This is important for part one. Okay. And the last tip is after you listen to each question, don't forget to repeat it. Okay. Okay, because we need to repeat the question. It's very important. Okay, everyone. So now let's get started with the listening, okay? And we will be doing, everyone, don't forget, test practice one. So, everyone, before we start, I want to remind you that I am going to be giving you a chance to do this listening yourself. I will let the audio play. You can listen and take notes, and then I will let you answer the questions. There's about 25 seconds between questions, and I will tell you when it's the questions, okay? First, let's get started with the listening.
Listening to problem solving.
Yes, how can I help you?
Yeah, I think my car has been stolen.
Okay. Can you give me the details?
Yeah, it's a 1999 four-wheel drive blue Subaru.
Okay. And when and where did you last see it?
Well, this morning I parked it in front of Lacey Hall.
Let me check our records. Ah, it appears your car was in a faculty only zone.
Yeah, I know, but the handicap parking spaces were all taken, and I had to find a place so I could get easy access to my classes.
Uh huh. But since you don't have a faculty parking sticker, your car was towed.
I was hoping that because I had a handicap sticker, it would be okay.
There may have been a complaint from a faculty member. Well, sometimes that happens when a professor can't get to work on time because someone who isn't faculty is parked in faculty parking. So the tow truck was called.
Question 1. What is the man dealing with? Question 2. What did the man do wrong? Question 3. What will the man probably do? Now listen to part 2.
Okay, um, how do I get my car back?
Well, when a vehicle has to be towed, the owner must pay for the towing and storage fees before the car can be taken. And I'm sorry to say, there's also a parking fine.
And how much will all that be?
Um, the towing fee is $90 and there's a storage fee of $10 per day. So it'd be a good idea to pick up your car today, if possible. The parking fine is 50, but if you pay within 7 days, the fine is reduced to 20.
I think, well, all this is very unfair. If the university is going to charge so much, they should have more spaces. My car gets towed because the handicap parking spaces are full. One of the cars didn't even have a handicap sticker.
Question 4. How will the man need to get his car? Question 5. Why might the man be worried? Question 6. What is the man's attitude towards his situation? Now listen to part 3.
Well, you know, don't you, that you do have the right to appeal, since you believe that circumstances exist that may excuse you from certain university regulations.
Oh, so how do I go about doing that?
Well, first, you write a letter of appeal. Well, that can be done online. You can go to the university traffic regulations page. You know the university homepage?
Uh huh.
Okay. Um, in your letter, explain the situation and why you believe the ticket was unfair. You'll get a letter immediately saying that your case is being reviewed. Later, you'll get a reply stating whether or not your appeal is accepted. The fine is put on hold as soon as the letter of appeal has been received. If the charge isn't dropped, then you have 7 days to pay up or to make a further appeal.
Okay. Thank you for your help.
Okay, good luck.
Question 7. What does the woman say the man can do? Question 8. What will the man most likely do next?
So then, everyone, let's get to analyzing the answers. I hope you were able to get all that. Now, I'm just going to start here from the beginning. Okay, very interesting. I got my car towed before, and in Canada, that's $300. Wow, very expensive. So let's look at question 1 then. I have the script here. What is the man dealing with? What problem is he having? Okay. His car was towed. He bought a Subaru. He was stolen. He stole a car. So you can see here, everyone, that for lower levels, and this part is mostly for lower levels, we need to get higher scores. Lots of confusion with words, but it should be, let's look carefully. Yes, how can I help you? Yes, I think my car has been stolen. Okay, can you give me the details? Yes, it's a 1994 four-wheel drive blue Subaru. Okay, when and where did you last see it? So his car has been stolen. Well, this morning I parked it in front of Lacey Hall. Let me check our records. It appears your car was in a faculty-only zone. Yeah, I know, but the handicapped parking spaces were all taken and I had to find a place so I could get easy access to my classes. But since you don't have a faculty parking sticker, your car was towed. Okay. I was hoping that because I had a handicap sticker, it would be okay. There may have been a complaint from a faculty member. Sometimes that happens when a professor can't get to work on time because someone who isn't faculty is parked in faculty parking. So the tow truck was called. Okay, all right. So it should be that his car was towed, right? Not about the Subaru, not. So it wasn't that his car was stolen. He thought it was stolen, okay? And not he stole a car. Towed, taken away. Okay, because he was parked in the wrong place. What did the man do wrong? Okay, so what did he do wrong? He left his key inside. He was improperly parked. He parked in front of Lacey Hall. He forgot where he parked. Oh, so not he left his keys inside, and not he forgot where he parked. So B or C, it should be B. Improperly means not correct. So he was parked in the wrong place, not just in front of Lacey Hall, okay? And what about number 3? What will the man probably do? File a complaint, call a faculty member, move his car, pay a fine. Well, probably not file a complaint or call a faculty member, and definitely not move his car because his car was towed. So it should be pay a fine, a ticket. He will probably have to pay a ticket for parking in the wrong place. Okay? All right, so what about question 4? How will the man need to get his car? He will need to complain. He will need to go to the impound. He will need to go to the university. He will need to call back. Well, let's see. Okay, how do I get my car back? Should be car here. Well, when a car has to be towed, the owner must pay for the towing and storage fees before the car can be taken. And I'm sorry to say there's also a parking fine. And how much will all that be? The towing fine is $90 and there's a storage fee of $10 per day, so it'd be a good idea to pick up your car today if possible. The parking fee is $50, but if you pay within 7 days, the fine is reduced to $20. I think this is very unfair. If the university is going to charge so much, they should have more spaces. My car gets towed because the handicap parking spaces are full. One of the cars didn't have didn't even have a handicap sticker. So he had a handicap sticker. Okay. Storage fee. Pick up the car today. So it looks like the car was towed to the towing garage, and that is called an impound. The impound is where the car, when they get towed, they get taken there. So not just complain, not go to the university, and not call. Okay. What about question 5? Why might the man be worried? He has limited funds, he limited patience, limited time, limited options. So limited means not much. So maybe he's worried not about options, he only has one option, and not about time. Maybe about time, he needs to go today. Not about patience, but I think it could be A. Maybe he's worried because he doesn't have money. He's a university student. And he probably has to pay so much money. Now, what about number 6? What is the man's attitude towards the situation? So how does he act or feel? What is his behavior like? He accepts the situation. He is furious, very angry. He thinks it's unfair. He thinks it is normal. Well, he accepts the situation, not very angry, but I think he thinks it's unfair. So he says this is very unfair. So his attitude is he thinks it's unfair. Okay. What about number 7? What does the woman say the man can do? He can appeal. She can appeal. He can appear. They have to appeal. He can appeal. Okay, probably this is a question just on words here. Well, you don't have to. You have the right to appeal since you believe the circumstances exist that may excuse you from a certain university regulations. So how can I go about doing that? Well, first you write an appeal that can be done online. You can go to the university traffic regulations page. You know, the university homepage. In your letter, explain the situation why you believe the ticket was unfair. So should be D, not she can appeal and not they, so D. And question 8, what will the man most likely do next? Okay, thank you. Okay, good luck. Nothing. Begin his letter, complain by calling, claim nothing. Well, I don't think he's going to do nothing. I think he is going to appeal. So he's going to start a letter of appeal. All right. Looks like we got everything. Okay, very good. We did. All right. So everyone, well, what can we do to practice? Well, the first thing we can do to practice is review the answers, everyone. Let's review the answers. Let's review why are the answers and why are the answers not the answers. This is a very good way to understand the answers and increase your comprehension, okay? Secondly, we can review the script. I see here the script is in the answer reviews. We can review the script. Make sure that we understand. Make sure that we understand the expression, the vocabulary. It's very important, everyone. If you can understand this kind of conversation, you will understand almost all conversations. So please review the script, okay? And all that, everyone, can be reviewed in our lesson sample page. I will be leaving a link in the description box to this sample page where you can review test practice 1. And also, everyone, you can practice vocabulary, comprehension building, and following dialogue. These are really great exercises to help you build your comprehension and listening skills. And lastly, let's do version 2. Now, version 2, it's the same listening, so you can practice listening to this audio. And also, you can practice questions. There's different questions and answers. Okay, so strongly recommend that. Also, everyone, let's not forget about CELPIP Library. Now, CELPIP Library has over 60 examples of listening part 1, and this will really help you improve your listening for part 1, especially for lower levels. We need lots of practice. So then, if you subscribe to the CELPIP Library and you use discount code CELPIP79, again, discount code CELPIP79, you can get a 3-month subscription to CELPIP Library for $10.99 Canadian. Now that's a really good deal. 3 months, that's over 90 days. And there are about 100 exam practice here. So you have lots of time to review all the listening, okay, everyone? So I strongly recommend you subscribe to the CELPIP Library. And don't forget, practice makes perfect.